Good evening, chess fans. It's Rafi Chowdhury here. In today's video, I am playing a 15-minute game against Carlos, who is rated about 1950, roughly, and we're here in the Caro-Kann, the advanced variation of the Caro. So hopefully we'll have an exciting game here in front of us. So let's get started and let's see what happens here. It's been some time since I've played the Caro, so I am also very interested to see how this game ends up being, and already our opponent has dropped a piece out of the opening. So yeah, not sure what I can say about that move, but hey, it's something. Not to say that I have not also made that mistake in some blitz games, but I have not made that in a standard game or a longer time control game just yet. But it's a very common mistake and it can happen to anyone anytime. Let's go ahead and get our pieces developed. He is threatening to trap our bishop with this move here. Let's play h5 here. Now let's play c5 and start to break open the center here. Queen b6, getting the queen out of the danger zone. This pin that he created, so getting the queen out of the pin. I'm thinking I can probably take on b2 there, because I think there's some pretty devastating attacking chances. There's a hit on the e5 pawn if the knight moves. In the meantime, the knight's under attack. You know, I'm still threatening to capture on c5 here, so I think lots of pieces are going to be coming under some fire here after this queen takes b2. And this pawn is lost, so might as well grab the good one here. So if he does that, I have an option of playing here as well. But he has to play here, or else he'll lose his knight. And then that's one option, but this is also an option right here, just taking here with check. This is hit, so king has to go here. He went king f1, so now we can probably let's go ahead and grab this guy while we have the capability of doing so. I know I'm kind of delaying some of the development here. I really wanted to play knight c6 here in this position, but I think just grabbing that g pawn is going to be helpful for us and just creating some long-term weaknesses on his queen side there. So already he's attacking our queen side. As you can see, the b7 pawn is coming under some fire now. Here, I might just play a quiet move. I might just play queen back to c7. just saying that, hey, I've gotten enough material wins and gains, so let's just quietly bring our pieces back to good squares and continue to play as if nothing happened and just be up material. So I'm not so worried about grabbing this pawn. I mean, he's trying to defend it with everything he can, but I'm not even interested in that pawn, honestly. I'm just interested in getting my pieces to good squares, and here shortly I'm gonna go ahead and play bishop e7 and castle on one side or another, and we'll hopefully have a good game. So he wants to really pile up on this pawn, I could tell. Just gonna play casual moves. Bishop e7. Now bishop to f6 is a threat. In fact, this might be a good time to go ahead and play bishop f6, just challenging that rook immediately. Now might be a good time for us to go ahead and get castled up. So he wants to go ahead and crush us on this side of the board here. I'm thinking about playing queen h2, but rook back to h1 leaves me with no advantages, really. So let's play instead this move. The idea is to go into c4 now. Knight d3 is also a threat. In fact, I might actually play knight d3. It looks a little bit more fun. Well, since he moved the bishop. Yeah, let's play this guy here. If he trades bishops with me, I'm gonna play this in-between move actually and take this first. Hit his queen. And then take back this bishop right here. So we're up in exchange also at this point. Let's go ahead and grab this pawn here. I'd have to be careful about this. If knight d3, then I have queen to c4, pinning the knight. I also have this move right here with a check. So he wants to play this, obviously. So now I'm going to take away that possibility with this move right here, but I have to be careful. Is there any perpetual checks after rook takes g7, king takes g7, queen g5, bishop to g6? I don't see any perpetual check ideas. So he opens up his bishop, okay. Now would be a good time for us to go ahead and get this piece involved into the game also. This knight. And if he takes the knight, I'm going to actually take this direction here. So we can go ahead and open up some lines towards his king with the rook on the d file. So of course he's threatening a checkmate now, and we can just simply play this move and just block that checkmate forever. Yeah, unfortunately for him, actually, this loses another piece now. This one right here. No compensation. So yeah, that was the game, guys. Let's go ahead and analyze and see how, you know, if there's any position where we could have played a little bit more accurately or something, perhaps. But overall, it was a pretty simple and straightforward win. I don't think there was anything after he's lost that piece in the opening. I feel like just the position, sort of collapsed for White after that kind of mistake. But yeah, let's see. So after e4, in this position, I went ahead and went with the Caro-Kann. So I played c6, played d4, d5, e5, which is advanced variation of the Caro-Kann. Bishop to f5 is the most logical and common move here. Knight f3 is very common as well. e6, knight c3 is pretty, well played, I think. Then I played knight to d7, and here is when he messed up. He played this, and he totally missed that my queen is still guarding on h4. A lot of times, black will already have played the knight to e7, so then this knight to h4 idea makes sense and is possible, but in this case I haven't committed my knight to the e7 square. So yeah, the queen is still here, so he just missed the fact that my queen was still there. So after this move I just took the knight. g3, I just simply retreated the queen back to d8. f3, played knight to e7 here, just developing the pieces. He played h4, trying to trap my bishop in. I just played h5, stopping that idea. Bishop g2, I simply played c5, just gaining control of the center. Bishop to g5, and then now I just went ahead and developed my queen. So queen b6. He took the pawn on c5, and I went ahead and took on b2. He attacked me, and here I just played queen takes e5 check. King went to f1, and then I went ahead and took the pawn on the g3 square here. He played rook to b1, and this is where I simply retreated my queen back to its home square and just said, let's just play normal, casual moves and maintain our advantage here. So he plays bishop to e3, and then I continued with my simple plan of just developing and getting my pieces to good square. So knight c6 is what I played. Rook to b2. And then here, I believe I played bishop to e7. So queen a5 was possible, putting more pressure immediately. But there's nothing wrong with the move that I played. I mean, you're simply up a lot of material, so just do it the way, the cleanest, simplest way. And I didn't want to go too far from the opening principles of just developing my pieces and getting my king castled and then attacking. So I played in line with those principles. So bishop e7, and he played bishop to f2. And in this position, I played bishop to, I believe, f6. Yeah, taking the rook. He played c3, and then I just castled. Why not? Bring the king to safety and continue from there. Rook to g1 was played, and then I think I played knight from c to e5 here. Bishop d4 was played. I improved the positioning of my knight, so I played knight to c4. He took on f6, and here I made a mistake. I could have played knight to e3 check and won the queen. I guess I didn't see that. But the move that I played is just as strong, I believe. bishop to h1 by white, opening up the rook to attack us down the g file, and then I simply just continue to just take pieces and you know, have a good solid position. So queen takes c5 is what I played. Queen d2 by my opponent, and then I played queen to b5 with check. King went to the d1 square, and then I simply played the move because I didn't want him to play this queen to h6 idea. So I just played king to h7, just, you know, preventing any sort of tricks and things like that from my opponent altogether. Not that king h7 was necessary, because if queen h6 did happen, I can always play this move like bishop to g6, and he doesn't have any threat at all. He has to move his queen. But nonetheless, I don't want to allow any sort of counterplay at all when I'm in a winning position. So I just played king h7 for safety. f4 came from him, trying to open up his bishop a little bit. When I got my knight to a better square, he traded, and I traded with the d pawn, opening up some more files. g2 was played. I simply played g6, stopping any kind of ideas of queen coming in and giving checkmate. Queen to g5 was played. I took the knight. That's when he resigned. So yeah, guys, just the main things that takeaways from this game is that you know, just continue to play solid chess when you're down, when you're up material. Just don't try to complicate things, but keeping things simple and trying to play the safe moves that lead to an advantage going into the end game, and trying to finish with precise play is the best, you know, advice to be given in this kind of game. So we know that, you know, that we won the piece in the very beginning. We just grabbed the free knight, but still there was a lot of work left to do. And so I just, you know, in this game just showed some good technique and just made sure that whatever moves I played were not really allowing any sort of counterplay, and just quietly and simply put the game away in a very precise fashion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this game and learned from it as well. The main takeaway is just be careful when you're, you know, like from my opponent's point of view, just being careful and not just anticipating moves. So he was anticipating earlier in the game that I would play my knight to e7. So he just quickly played that queen knight h4 without looking. And that's kind of the kind of blunders a lot of, you know, more beginner players tend to make, is they see a move that might be, you know, a good move in some situations, but they don't really take stock of the full position and its intricacies, and they go ahead and play like an intuitive move, and they get into trouble like he did in this position in this game. So anyway, guys, hopefully enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you and take care. Rafi Chowdhury signing out here on from Lichess and on YouTube.